Trapmore Gang, ever since the tragic passing of THF Bayzoo, we've all been digging into exactly who might have been responsible. He had a whole bunch of different beefs from all over Chicago that we're hearing now. This new gang, BTBG, DMG, all of these younger crews, they're apparently into it with Bayzoo. There's all of these stories about Lil Zay Osama and his 6300 crew being into it with THF over watches that got stolen. There's a whole bunch of stories, all right? But what I think is very interesting about this is it doesn't really seem like THF Bayzoo's most notorious and historical enemies have been placed anywhere near the scene. Like, nobody from the original crew who Bayzoo was at war with has seemingly anything to do with this. It surprised a lot of people because just how vicious this war that THF was in with this crew called 051 Young Money, it's almost unthinkable to imagine that anyone other than, those guys who they were at war with, they're saying THF Bayzoo had a few bodies on, what I'm saying? All these, how have 051 not got nothing to do with this? Well, it's a deadly game going on in Chicago right now. This new generation of kids, youngsters, you know what I'm saying? The whites, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to say it, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? This younger generation is just out of control. But in this video, okay, I want to go back and trace back one of the craziest relationships that THF Bayzoo actually had with one of his most notorious enemies. Now, if you saw this video on my channel, The Many Murders of 051 Melly, you will know that there was actually a long-running feud between Bayzoo and 051 Melly, 051 Melly being allegedly one of the most vicious killers from the 051 Young Money set. But what's really crazy is that despite the hatred that these two people had for each other and the fact that they allegedly wanted to kill each other and tried to kill each other, probably ready to slide on each other numerous times, they actually had a very respectful and cordial relationship. They got on FaceTime and Instagram Live a couple of times, and despite being two notorious killers from two sides of this gang war, they actually seemingly had almost like a frenemy friendship relationship going on. Not relationship like that, but they were like frenemies. They kind of respected each other. They almost had this admiration for each other's gangster, and I feel like that was very interesting. Now, I want to recap all of that in this video and just give you guys some backstory on the very strange frenemy relationship between THF Bayzoo and 051 Melly. Now, there were several moments where Melly and, his enemies would kind of show each other respect. Melly would actually reveal that he'd been watching King Von and Lil Durk's Atlanta trial. If you remember, Lil Durk and King Von got jammed up on an attempted murder case over in Atlanta before Von lost his life. And, Melly would basically express his opinions on the situation. And he, ironically, very ironic really now looking back, Melly would basically give his thoughts on the situation, and he would say that Von clearly wasn't worried about prison because he actually knew how to fight and he had hands.
Even that bitch swinging in the shit, he has no worries, bro.
Conviction of a felony, participation in a criminal street gang activity, aggravated assault.
Dog probably scared, but Von, he was in that bitch. I've been in jail before, I know how to fight. He was in that.
He's saying Von knew how to fight. I've been to jail with Von, all right? He ain't going to be scared. He ain't going to be bothered. He's saying Durk probably scared. That's what they're saying.
Even that bitch swinging in the shit, he has no worries, bro.
Okay, that's the capture. I don't know if he actually said that Durk's going to be scared. But basically, okay, he had admiration for Von. He said Von has hands. He said Von actually, put up a fight out here. Now, ironically, King Von, he would return the favor. He would return the respect when he would tell fans in an infamous live stream that Melly had basically sent him condolences after his best friend T-Roy's death. So even in the face of one of your most hated ops in the city, T-Roy was King Von's right-hand man. He was his top shooter. Even in the face of T-Roy passing away, Melly would actually send his condolences to Von.
Now now Melly, I ain't on no distance, RIP Melly, whatever, from the ops. Now he one of them you could talk to, you know what I'm saying? You could talk to him because he cool, and he got a little points, whatever he did, So
how crazy is that, right? He's saying, hey, look, you could talk to Melly. He was cool. You could actually have a conversation with him. He was respectful. He had a few points. He respected Von respected the murders that Melly had done on his friends. That is insane.
So it's okay. But look, now he tell me, now I had the nigga, I mean he did right now. But he tell me this when he's alive. He like, I knew you was gonna get out, shorty. You lost your best friend. God had to let you out. You see what I'm saying? Like God, he owed you that.
He said God owed you your freedom. When King Von had that case that he was fighting, all right, as the Malcolm Stuckey murder, 051 Melly said to him, yo, I knew you was going to get out and beat that case. God owed it to you because you lost your best friend T-Roy while you were locked up. That's crazy. That's crazy respectful that he would say that to him, that they would even be having this conversation.
I thought that's some real for a bitch ass op-ass to say, okay? That.
He said that's some real shit for a bitch ass op to even say. These guys bro, the craziest thing about Chicago, bro, these guys like each other, bro. They like their ops. I've said it before, bro. Even when it was the Von and Youngboy situation, bro, it's like you guys all have so much in common with each other, bro. You should just set this beef aside and be friends, bro. You all got the same trauma. You come from the same place. The only reason you guys are beefing with each other is these historical neighborhood. You know, people aren't fighting over turf like people think in Chicago, but it really is, you know, low key, it's kind of red versus blue, GD versus BD. And, like, if you could set that aside, you can jump on the phone with someone like Melly, even though, you know, they're saying that he was the one that might have had something to do with the death of Lil Durk's cousin. They jumping on the phone and talking like friends. He respected him. He's saying, yo, he said some real stuff to me. How insane is that, man? I really wanted to just touch on this in this video. Now, another person, who I got a lot of time for, man, shout out to the guy, the legend, Tay Savage from Welch World, man. He also had some interesting interactions with Melly. He would actually claim in a 16 Shot 'em interview that he became cordial with Melly after a shootout that nearly took Tay's nose off, and he started respecting his gangster. He nearly killed me. It's like, you nearly killed me. I respect you. I respect your gangster. It's actually insane.
Basically said something like, I believe like Melly had shot your nose or some shit like that, and y'all squashed that?
Yeah. So it wasn't even Melly. So when I had came home, you feel me, Melly ass was just like talking, I guess, sending a lot of threats and shit through bit. Like a lot of motherfuckers called me like, yeah, Melly said this, Melly said that. Who the fuck is Melly? He from 051, what the damn. All right, man. So I'm studying this shit. So I was locked up with Motor, you feel me? So I kind of had like a relationship with Motor. So we go to the club and shit. So yeah, we had Reese with us that day. And then shit, they was fake like they was trying to get on Reese, but I'm telling like, bro, that shit, you know, he with us, that shit dead. You feel me? Whatever y'all got going on, y'all gonna have to. It can't be today or now. Shit, but I'm like, shit, matter of fact, what's up with Melly? I'm studying his name and shit. Cause I ain't know how Melly even looked at the time, you feel me? So I'm studying his name, he started sending me messages and shit like, what's to him? So he had folks around, walk the band, all right, check shit, tell him here, shit. So like I say, after that, goddamn it, we leaving and shit, they get on us. They fake it on the car and shit. You know, we get into the bang out, he scan my nose. You know, they got what they got, whatever, but yeah, my uncle them called me next morning, like, so my uncle tied in, you feel me? So they like, yeah, that shit out the band, whoa. That shit, y'all should squash it. They was really trying to make us like squash the whole war. But I'm like, bro, that shit, you feel me? It's blood and I can't. And then, you know, we fought with the 6 and like, I ain't able to do that. But I'm like, bro, me and him, like, we could be cordial, you feel me? Like, we could be cordial. Like, I see him, it ain't got to be no shots fired, no shit like that or whatever, and vice versa.
So he's saying the bullet skimmed his nose. Melly nearly shot his nose off, bro. Like, what? And then you got uncles that are homies. They're trying to get you to squash the beef. He's saying they tried to get us to squash the whole war, but I'm tapped in with 4-6, so it's blood in, blood out. We can't do all that. But, you know, we cordial. That, like, bro, how crazy is this? This guy was such a big gangster, bro, that they were literally, like, he was patching it up with everybody. Now, according to Tay himself, okay, THF Bayzoo once met his biggest op, Melly, face to face without even realizing who he was. And how crazy is that he's talking about, he was in a club asking about Melly. He said, Melly been messaging me weird demonic shit on Instagram. I didn't even know what he looked like. And Tay would basically break it down. He would say, Bayzoo once met his biggest op, Melly, got face to face with him, had no idea who he was.
So speaking of like, you know, ops having to be around each other, I heard there was a time like when you had like Melly and Zoo in the same car or like cordial with each other.
Bro, honestly, bro, Zoo didn't even know who Melly was. So I stayed on 670 East End and shit, you feel me? So we pull up, Zoo in the passenger seat, Melly walk up to the car after we start, you know what I'm saying, rotating shit, being cordial or whatever. So he walked to the car, he was so, what's wrong? And I'm talking to him. I think Zoo like in his phone or something, or Zoo doing something. So when he spin out, hey, you know what that is? He who? Like, well, that's Melly. He, what? I'm like, he ain't no shit though about the band. He really on shit, you know, they used to be on like 670 East End and shit. But yeah, he ain't really even know who like his, like, you know, the internet, not every motherfucker know everybody's face, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't really even know who Melly was at the time.
So he's saying that he actually had Bayzoo face to face with Melly. He didn't fully know who he was. He said, "Yo," he said, "What? That's the big op that we're hearing about." Now, you know what's even more crazy? Following Melly's death, okay, THF Bayzoo would openly admit that he actually respected Melly. Despite him being from one of THF's biggest enemy sets, he actually had respect for his gangster. He actually thought highly of him. And that just goes to show you, bro, how like twisted and messed up some of these situations can get.
Why do you have respect for Melly where a lot of these guys you didn't?
What did you consider respect? We on live with him, kicking it with him?
You're on live, and it was just like, you know, you were kind of talking to each other, but there were other moments where it felt like you respected him.
I did. I ain't gonna sit there and flex like they be saucing Melly up. That's what I Melly.
Hey, I just realized I ain't got my lights turned on. I'm gonna keep reacting to this. I got the wireless headphones on today, but I'm gonna turn my lights on.
Like, yeah, they be putting emphasis on shit, but I let them do what they do, gang. I ain't here to say nobody or not. You feel me? It is what it is, but they definitely be over salting that shit. Like, he worldwide. Let some people tell it, he made me famous. I was me before I even heard of him. You get what I'm saying? Like, I met Melly in 2013 in the car with Tay. I never knew who he was until I was in the car with Tay.
In that clip or another time?
No, this is another time. I think Tay said in one of his interviews, though, how we met, though, if I ain't mistaken. But I met Melly through Tay, but I ain't gonna lie, Melly was a stand, like, it's that he know what he's saying, and he always kept it gangster and kept it thorough, and like, I just built that type of, it wasn't no real bond, no real, oh, what up, I see you, I ain't gonna do nothing to you, you see me, and like, no, it wasn't that type of relationship, like, but if we see each other on FaceTime on the phone, like him and Vaughn used to be on FaceTime a lot, he'd call me for certain situations, you know what I'm saying, so we grew to chop on that type of level, but like I said, at that time, I was drunk, actually, I was drunk as hell. I never knew that live was gonna go viral. A lot of people, like in the other states, I get locked up in. That's what they know me off that live.
Yeah, you're hitting the bottle and shit. Yeah,
yeah.
That
Like,
shit got 2 million views now.
Bro, I had a whole month. Yeah, each clip got millions of views. So like, imagine all of it would have been one clip. I was on live with them for like an hour, but like I told you, I was new with the lives. You know, Instagram was going on for a while, but you know, like every time Instagram always comes with something new.
So he really had respect for him, man. And it's just so crazy to see, considering how much beef and how many incidents have gone on between these guys, all right? Especially considering the fact that Melly very, very likely is responsible for the deaths of some of Bayzoo's friends. Now, before the THF and 051 war had claimed more than 18 lives, Bayzoo would basically say the two sets were actually cool with each other. Like, way back in the day, there was actually a time when they were actually cool with each other. They were cordial. And it's so sad that we couldn't have seen, you know, some kind of resolution, some kind of just way of avoiding the giant rivalry that became this just bloodbath that it did.
To knock the whole field for Duce to the head. You feel me? Like,
so you used to hang out with like people from Young Money and shit? Because if you was rotating with Melly, then you had to be hanging out with like at least.
Melly wasn't thought of when we was hanging around Young Money. Like, if he was, I ain't know of him. Like, his name wasn't ringing what it was ringing. Like, I heard about Melly like as far as doing bad shit and wilding out when I was locked up for my murder. Like, that's why I told him in the video, like, I don't like the fact your shit been ringing since I've been gone. You feel me? Like, his shit wasn't ringing. Like, we was hanging with Young Money in 2005, 2006, 2007. You feel me? But we used to all hoop and shoot dice with each other all the time. You feel me? Like, their neighborhood is literally like a 2-block radius from us. Like, walk 2 blocks down, that's them. We used to go down there, shoot dice, all that shit. But you know, they had it good in their community. They was all mama's boys. They was driving their mama's cars in grammar school, all type of shit. You feel me? So we used to go down there, kick it with them. They had all the hoes. You feel me? It just went from us fighting to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how that shit. That shit been, I think Zico died in 2008, man. That shit been going on. My homie Key locked up for the shit right now. So that's what just made the war just be a war that stick, you know what I'm saying? Because when our homies arrested for the shit, you know what I'm saying? For them losing one of their guys. But it started from us fighting. Like, we was fighting. You know how regular kids is, always fighting, you know what I'm saying, in the community.
So, you know, fights turn into shootouts, turn into people getting killed on one side, people getting locked up for the killings on the other side. And it's just, you know, it's just sad that things escalate so much when people actually have, you know, respect and admiration for each other. It shouldn't have been like that. Now, that history made their infamous Instagram live together even more surreal because it would show both the tension but also this weird mutual respect that like Melly and Bayzoo had for each other. And Melly and Zoo's conversation was just like the stuff of legend, okay? And we're going to get into it right now. Like, what's really crazy, okay, is the conversation started with them trying to find out each other's locations and joking about catching each other slipping. So it's like, even amongst the fact they're actually trying to kill each other, all right, they're actually cracking jokes about that. They are trying to kill each other and find each other, but at the same time, like, that in itself is like an inside joke. Like, yo, if I find your low, but like, if I actually do find your low, I got to come murder you. But like, hey, I better not find your low. Like, it's crazy.
No, I ain't talking about outside. No, you ain't outside. You in the crib. I mean, somebody crib, but I'm just been outside. Man, you don't even drink, man. You're a kid. Stop acting like you really drinking, man. I'm trying to catch your ass drunk.
He said, you don't even drink. Now, Bayzoo admitted in that No Jumper interview that he was actually drunk when he was on this live. Maybe he wouldn't have done this if he wasn't drunk. But what's crazy is he's like, I'm trying to catch you outside. I'm trying to get like, I'm trying to catch you drunk. Like, they cracking jokes, but it's also true at the same time. Like, I don't think I've ever seen like a relationship, friendship like this, ever.
Not happening. I'm trying to catch you drunk. But I'm drunk. I'm be super prepared, man. Your ass be out here. I was drunk. I was just drunk recently. Your ass be out here loose. Like a thought. Hey, I'm ready to catch your ass drunk. I ain't gonna catch you. You with the gang? You with the gang? Huh? Gang? Y'all all type of shit, man. I don't even know how to throw the ass up. How you throw all that? Come on, y'all type of shit. Come on, don't start.
Bro, he throwing up the Wives for Young Money. He's saying you with the gang. He throwing up their gang sign, bro. He low-key want to be in the set. Like, this is insane. Like, do you understand how insane this is? I feel like that's why, like, people don't even realize this is a whole hour-long live, bro. The history is actually insane, bro. Bruh. It's crazy, man. It's actually crazy. Now, later on in the live, okay, Bayzoo would talk about leaving Chicago, while Melly said that he would never move and he planned to live to 100 years old. And Zoo would even compliment Melly on how he moves in the streets, saying he still hasn't been able to find him and basically saying he respects his gangster. And look, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it's like, Bayzoo talking about how he respects how Melly moves, and Bayzoo's spoken at length in interviews about how he moves different and he is never lacking. And unfortunately, we did see that day he passed away, it did seem like he was lacking. He was not moving the way that you would expect somebody of his stature in the community to move.
I'm finna move to Mexico, man. Start a new life, bro. I'm scared. Oh, no, I ain't never moving out of Chicago. Oh, yeah.
See, Bayzoo joking, man, but it's like, it's sad to even see because it's like, bro, he probably had the resources to move to Mexico and start a new life. And he could have been making music remotely, and he could have been running business remotely. It's sad, man.
I love it here. Make it here. You said make it here. Sure. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it to 100 years. Sure. I'm going to be one of the last ones standing. Yeah, you know how to move. Duck that taco. Nah, I ain't ducking my taco. That's how you said it right the first time. I know how to move. I ain't ducking my taco. You know how to move. Right, I'm going to give that to you. I can't say your way. You definitely know how to move. I'm saying when I want to be seen. Shoot that money, man.
He actually respects him. He's saying you know how to move. He means that. When he says you know how to move, he means that, all right? And unfortunately, both of these people didn't make it to 100. 100's unrealistic. But unfortunately, both of them, you know, they ain't making it to 50. I don't know if Bayzoo made it to 40. I don't think he was 40. He looked like he was mid-30s. But, you know, it's very, very sad, man, because clearly they had respect for how each other was moving. And, you know, it went the way that it went. But unfortunately, these two had very serious face cards in the streets, man. Now, after this, they kind of both listened out into each other's lives for background voices and names, and they was trying to figure out who the person was with and possibly where they were. Like, they was really scoping each other out, even though they was respecting each other.
Money, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Your ass ain't no real beauty, that's what. Man, listen, you know what they going to get. You know what they do with, man. Hey, so who was that? I ain't with nobody, you know. I got friends, bro. Niggas, man. Who is that, bro? No, I ain't with them. I'm with a few families. He said they saw for you. They busting jugs. Yeah. So I'm trying to listen to the background, listen to names, man. Go on with that shit, man. I see you hold your head like, oh, I know that. You don't know that name, man. I'm telling man, I'm drunk. I'm just tweaking with your
He said he listening and he trying to hear what names are being said. He trying to work out who he's with, and Bayzoo playing it cool. He said, I'm drunk. I'm just tweaking with your ass. Now, later on in this live, and there was a lot to this live. There's some legendary moments in this live, okay? But later on, the question was asked, and this is so eerie and dark to hear, like when you look back at it. But the question was asked, who would live longer between them? And the people in the comments were saying that they believe that Melly would live longer.
Yeah, why everybody want me dead, man? What I do to anybody? What I do to anybody, bro? They said you gonna die before me. Let me pay this. Let me pay this. Hurry up and pay that, man. Pay that. Why they want you dead so bad? What I do to anybody? I ain't hurt nobody. Damn, man. What the fuck? I can't find his ass. Too many people commenting at once right now. That was wrong right there.
So Zoo's joking. He's saying, I ain't hurt nobody. Now, I've heard that he maybe hurt a total of 3 people, potentially, allegedly, right? That's what was alleged. But later on, okay, they would both kind of touch on the fact that they both, they both know and understand that they're living the reality of live by the gun, die by the gun. And Zoo would even admit that he knows that payback is coming because he has hurt a lot of 051 members. And later they would both laugh at a comment saying that 051 was up 23-4 on the scoreboard. So all of this dark demonic stuff you hear in drill music, man, these guys are on the phone, they laughing and joking about this stuff, man. So again, for people that want to say people like me trivialize these things by talking about them and reacting to them, but it's like at the same time, they're joking and laughing about these things that are going on, man. I'm gonna just say I'm not interested in that video there. So I don't like that video. Let's go.
I ain't never too old for shit, man. I do this shit. Yeah, they say like 33, folks. I'm down for the trenches, man. They know this. That's how I go. Live by the gun, die by the gun. For sure. I know that already. I ain't so saying whatever you got coming to you. I swear to God, don't be sad. I heard a lot of y'all ass, but my son, I know what's coming to me. Y'all just gotta get there. You just say.
He said, I hurt a lot of your ass, but on my son, I know what's coming to me. You got to get there. Now, that's crazy now that we know how everything played out, man.
Stop incriminating yourself. I ain't got to say bitch. I ain't saying no names. I heard a lot of you bitch ass niggas. You know that. They know that. I don't know about that. Tell them prove it. I know that. I know what's coming. Live by the gun, die by the gun. Tell them don't be chased. So tell them don't feel sorry for you. I swear to God, I'm slicker than the grease. Huh? Say what? What you say? What you say, my boy? I said, tell him so don't be sad for you, right? You live your life. You did what you did. You got to accept it. I don't want no motherfucker crying for me, bro. Don't cry at my funeral. So motherfucker paint your dreads red, something. Don't cry. I don't cry. I get wild. I need 20 for 1, you hear me?
20. This is that famous statement. This has been going around a lot, man. He said, if they kill me, I need 20 for 1. 20 people need to die about me. And people on the streets, people in THF been saying that's really going to happen. It's very unfortunate, but that is the reality behind this. And he's saying, look, I know what's coming to me. I know I've done hurt people. Don't cry at my funeral. And Melly's saying, look, if we paint your dreads red, if we shoot you in the head, you saying no crying? And he said, I know what's coming. 20 people going to die after that, man. It's chilling to hear at this stage.
Why I'm up 25-3?
He laughing. They're saying YM up 25-3. Now that hits different when you know that Bayzoo allegedly got 3.
Damn, you know what did it? Hey, you know they lying, don't you? For they be saying anything on here, bro. God, they funny as hell. Damn, I don't even want to show my face no more. 25-3, bro. Hey, stop shouting.
25-3 is crazy. Now, later on in the live, okay, both Zoo and Melly would both claim that their sets are the ones who gave the ops their names. And Melly would basically add that Zoo was actually shot during 051's Get Back, and it would just be low-key a little bit of a policey conversation. I'm not going to lie. People say I'm the police, but like these are the conversations that are being had, and they really speaking on Get Backs. Like they really speaking on what's going on. Like it's crazy.
Bitches and mama's boys, man. Y'all drive y'all mama's car in 7th and 8th grade, bro. We forced y'all in this shit, bro. We the reason why y'all got y'all name right now. You know that. You say y'all the reason why we got us a name? And y'all the reason why y'all got a name. Y'all got a name. It go both ways. No, it go both ways. If we finna start this on here, I don't even give a damn. You wanna start this on, it's gonna go both ways. We've been it's never been no killing without killing. We gonna keep it real though. We've been into it y'all since 07, bro. You damn right, but it's never been no killing without killing though. We ain't gonna
This is a classic catchphrase in Chicago, man. Ain't no killing without killing. And you know what they're basically saying is ain't no one killed one of ours. He's saying we admitting it. Yeah, we took losses in the streets, but we always killed about our losses. Ain't no one getting killed without somebody else getting killed in retaliation. That's dark, man, but it's true.
What year somebody died in my block? You said what year? For sure. You go get killed in 08, I'm keeping fun. Then somebody died in 10, right? Never heard of them. What? 10. They didn't have it back to back. Then somebody died in 10 right there? Then you get shot then? I got shot in 11. All right, well, you got shot, right? Yeah. You got shot and then somebody checked, right? All right, we ain't gonna be got shot for sure. All right, look, we ain't gonna be doing on the internet. That ain't for the internet. We ain't gonna do that. Look.
So, all right, I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna tell you what he's talking about, okay? So they're saying, look, we gave you your name, okay? They're basically talking about, Zico World, the first person from 051 Young Money, or at least the most prominent, initial catalyst for this war. Zico from 051 Young Money, man. And, this is somebody very prominent in the crew who lost their life. They died all the way back in 2009. Now, that's what Zoo's referring to. Now, ironically, it sounds like Melly maybe got that wrong because he's saying, yo, yeah, and we shot you and we killed people in 2010. Now, Melly is basically maybe misremembering, but basically what it seems like is that actually he's talking about an incident where, you know, somebody got killed from THF and Bayzoo actually was shot and injured. And he's saying, didn't you get shot in 2010? And Bayzoo says, oh, I got shot in 11. Now, it would appear to me, in my best guess, that Melly is actually referring to the murder of this individual who goes by Quint, where one of the people injured in this shooting where 3 people were hit was allegedly Bayzoo himself. So this is the incident here. It's 3 shot and 1 fatally wounded in Bronzeville neighborhood. 3 people were shot and 1 fatally hit last Friday afternoon in a drive-by shooting in the Bronzeville neighborhood. The 3 males who were shot and wounded by gunfire from a passing vehicle just before 5 p.m. on the 800 block of East 46th Street, THF 46, okay, right in the heart of what's going on over there. And basically, Quentin Turner, age 18, aka Quint, was shot multiple times and pronounced dead 45 minutes after the shooting at Mercy Hospital. He was unfortunately shot in the head. And another 20-year-old man suffered gunshot wounds to his leg and ankle, and a 17-year-old boy suffered a broken leg resulting from a gunshot wound. Okay, so it's believed that Bayzoo was indeed shot in this incident. But police initially believed the team was struck by the suspect's vehicle rather than shot, but it did turn out to be a shooting. Turner and another victim were taken to Mercy Hospital Medical Center, while the third victim was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in serious to critical condition. So, you know, this all happened on the intersection of 46th and Cottage Grove. Okay, these are legendary areas, and you know the scene was described as pretty gruesome. Postal worker Octavia Williams, sorting through mail and helping customers inside the post office this afternoon, heard the crack of gunfire and people screaming. She went out. She said she saw bodies laying everywhere. And she said, I could see a man lying in the middle of the road and he looked lifeless. Members of the nearby firehouse rushed into the street to try and help the wounded woman. Over the last week, Williams said she heard gunfire in the area at work and had a feeling something worse might be coming. She never wants to see something like this again. But despite the shooting occurring on a busy street in rush hour, very few passers-by or onlookers remained in the area afterwards. And basically, everybody was just trying to get to the bottom of it. People were saying it was sad and frustrating. It's not even warm yet and the shooting's begun already. They were thinking it was going to be a hot summer. So back to the live, Bayzoo would basically say that 051 Young Money really went up on the scoreboard around 2015, 2016, not because of the numbers, but because of these losses actually hurt the most.
Look, man. All right, no, don't call me dude. We ain't going to do that on the internet. 15 and 16, bro, is where y'all went up. That's when the shit was really cracking. They weren't really. Oh, that's when it hurt. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. You right. We gonna be quiet for this ain't for the end. All right, stop that then. Fuck you talking about, dude. No, you front your shot. You just said that something happened in 08. You right. Something happened in 08, and it took years for it to have it back. You right. Did I do no fuck? You ain't for just say no. It ain't no killing without no killing going on. Stop that.
So he's basically saying what Bayzoo just said, okay? He says Young Money really went up around 2015 or 16, but it's not because of the numbers, not because of the amount of people that got hit, but because those are the losses that hurt the most. And you got to give it to Bayzoo for being extremely honest. Now, the reason why these losses likely hurt the most, this is likely a reference to the murder of THF Raheem. This is Bayzoo's stepson, who was allegedly shot and injured by 051 Melly just weeks earlier and ended up getting killed by Melly. And, you know, this obviously was very personal to Bayzoo. Now, look, I've seen some people say that Melly was responsible for this. I've seen other people say that Melly shot at Raheem a few weeks before and somebody else killed him. But ultimately, a man was charged in the murder, and he was only 15 at the time. And this was very, very personal because this was Bayzoo's stepson. This says no bail for man charged in May slaying a 15-year-old boy in Bronzeville. A South Shore, let me zoom into this a little bit more. It says a South Shore neighborhood man was charged and ordered held without bail in a May shooting that killed a boy and wounded another in the city's Bronzeville neighborhood. Arias Finch, 20 of the 6900 block of South Paxton Avenue, was charged with first-degree murder in a May 24 shooting that killed 15-year-old Raheem Demiron. Around 8:15 p.m., Raheem was leaving the Golden Fish and Chicken restaurant and walking near 45th Street and Cottage Grove Avenue with 4 other 15 and 16-year-old boys, 14 and 15-year-old boys, and another witness when 4 or 5 shots were fired from a silver sedan. Raheem was shot in the back and ran into an alley where he collapsed and died. Another 14-year-old boy was shot in the ankle, and the 14-year-old was taken to the Children's Hospital. Witnesses identified Fitch, a member of the Young Money faction of the Mickey Cobra Street Gang, as the man who shot the 2 boys. According to Keating, Prosecutors said they believe the shooting was retaliation for a drive-by in May 15, where Fitch and another member of the same gang was shot. So they're saying that, they're saying it was going back and forth, basically, all right? And it says witnesses said the man who was shot with Fitch on May the 15th was a passenger in the vehicle when Fitch shot Raheem and the other boy. The block where Raheem was killed has seen a number of shootings and homicides over recent years, mostly tied to gang conflicts that stretch from the north end of Bronzeville into the Inglewood neighborhood. Fitch was free on bail and facing an earlier gun charge at the time of Raheem's death, and he was basically held without bail. Now, I can't really find too much information about whether or not he was convicted. I'm seeing maybe the case was terminated, or this was saying maybe he pled to a lesser charge of unlawful transport. It's unclear, but I'm not seeing anything to say that he was convicted, so I don't really know exactly how this worked out. But again, regardless of what happened, this was clearly very personal to Bayzoo, and that was somebody, that was a close family member, his stepson at the time, and, that just, as he said in the live, that's really one of the losses that hurt him the most. Now, one of the most chilling parts of this live was where Melly actually told Zoo about someone who went through an alley and never made it out, and then saying that he wanted Zoo to walk through the same alley. Now, it's likely that this is the incident that he's talking about. Obviously, as we've just seen in that article, Raheem walked into an alley and that's where he passed away, or that's where he was found. Now, it's very disrespectful. And again, even though these guys have respect for each other, it's crazy, even more insane to consider how much respect they had for each other when things are this personal. And they're on this live showing each other little bits of respect, also dissing each other about these personal incidents. And it's just mind-blowing, really, when you think about what they're actually talking about here.
Yeah. Tell you about this nigga when he walked down this dark alley. He ain't make it to the other end of the alley. I'm just reading the comments, bro. I'm just asking you. I said you said you finna go to sleep. I am. And I said you want me to tell you about this story about this nigga, right? He went in through the one end of the alley, but he didn't make it to the other end. It was a black alley. I'm trying to tell you the story. I never heard of it. It's a story. Why you never heard of it? Why you wasn't there? Of course, you know what I'm saying. I never heard of it. Who you talking about? They clowning now. With the big ass bank? I'm all our hoes, man. I wouldn't want to read these comments right now if I was you either. I wouldn't tell a story. Huh? I wouldn't tell a story. I'll be implicating myself. Man, I'm saying that was a fucking joke, man. Yeah, I was there. But you go walk down this alley, you hear me? I want you to walk down this alley. It's a certain alley. They came three, nigga. I'm buzzed, nigga.
I'm not going to lie, that is one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. He's talking about the alley where his stepson died. You can tell that one actually got to Bayzoo, and he just kind of waving, but you can tell that one really got to him. Now, elsewhere in this interview, I got two versions of it up here. I did actually have the wrong version up for a second there. But at some point, Bayzoo would basically touch on how 051 Melly was basically tapped in with people from out west. And funnily enough, Melly would actually throw the same accusation back at Zoo. Now, we've been talking about out west a lot recently. It's kind of one of the more dangerous sides of Chicago. And, clearly, both of these guys are tapped in with people from out there.
No, they have. Only one other homies, OV's homies. Yo, OV's homies. That'll make my head hurt this shit, man. I'm really family members right now. We on Risky Road, all in the harness. Y'all on my son. Why is you talking about Risky Road? Out west in the south suburbs, rocking with y'all in jail. They have fans.
So you're talking about out west, they're talking about over east, they're talking about Risky Road, all these young shorties, these younger generations of gangs, they tapped in, they know what's going on.
Fuck is y'all. You can't say no out west, folks. You can't say out west. Blocks out west like one time. A fucking lie. I don't fuck with out west, period. No block. So many goofies in road. My homie come from out west with y'all. Don't even know what's going on. Oh, no. And the motherfuckers out west ain't ride with me that one time. I was fighting niggas from out west. I'm going to keep it funky because of you. They say you they homie. I don't even know half them people. When you just fight, we just in there, but you had 2 fights. You out your mind. Oh, you talking when I was in there with?
Now, it's ironic, right, that they're talking about, out west and people fighting because this younger generation, BTBG, these guys are tapped in with Lil Zay Osama. They ain't got nothing to do with this 051 Young Money thing, but now everybody's saying they might have something to do with what happened to Bayzoo. So this is actually crazy foreshadowing. Now, they would also touch on some of the other legendary figures from the Chicago drill scene. They would touch on Mimo 600, okay? And 051 Melly would actually allege that Mimo ain't do anything but be a track star. In other words, all right, and I'm not condoning this, I'm not agreeing with it, but he would basically say that all Mimo does is run away when he gets shot at. I don't know for sure, all right? I rock with Mimo, I like Mimo, but Melly, he the devil, really, so he, you know, he talking shit.
I'm for that, he ain't no Mimo. You said he in his glow? Yeah, he in his glow. Mimo doing this shit. He getting his own name up. What fake rapping and this? All that, man. Ain't no motherfucking touch for yet. Well, look.
He's saying, people saying, Bayzoo saying ain't nobody touched him yet. And Melly saying, hey,
look, you can't.
He fake rapping. He fake rapping about stuff he done. But Bayzoo saying, well, he ain't been touched.
Say ain't nobody touched Shorty yet. You right, ain't nobody touched him yet, but he been around when everybody become track stars. We been around. Yeah, motherfucker that make a disc get their ass. I'm speaking out of my mouth. Get their ass up, man. Listen, Shorty out here. You heard what I just said, right? You heard what I just said. Yeah, he been around when they been track stars on the 9. I'm speaking that out of my mouth. Look.
He's basically saying, if you read between the lines, what Melly is basically saying, he says, Mimo's been around when everybody ran away, and he's saying, I'm saying it out of my mouth. He's basically saying, I've had these guys running. That's what I'm just going to keep it real. That is what he's saying, all right? And obviously, Mimo 600, he's from 600. 051 Young Money also got beef with 600. It gets very real. Now we're going to link things together, okay, to the modern day history. Melly would notice THF would be in the chat, and if you don't know, THF would be the THF member who ended up getting killed in front of his daughter, allegedly as direct revenge for what happened with the Watches and Lil Zay Osama by 6300. And this whole situation with THF this has all devolved allegedly into the situation that would cause Bayzoo to lose his life. So Melly would notice TP in the chat, and he would announce that he was going to follow him. Now, I don't know if he means follow him into the alley or follow him on Instagram, but this is not who you want following you regardless.
Hey, Melly. Let's stop that. Oh, God, you know what it is. Damn right. TP got an Instagram, I know that. I follow them too. That's run your move, bro. Why you doing all this though, bro?
See, he said, hey, TP in here, like, let me follow him too. I'm trying to follow his Instagram. I'm trying to see where he's at. Now, but it wouldn't just be THF members popping into the chat. Apparently, there'd also be females in the chat. And THF Bayzoo would basically reveal that when he was in jail, Melly smashed a lot of his girls. A lot of the girls that Bayzoo was messing with, Melly snuck all around, backdoored him a different type of way, and was smashing his girls, bro. How crazy is this?
Hey, Hannah, babe. Well, Hannah, babe. I don't fuck with you. She gonna say some opposite. She real disrespectful. I don't fuck with you, dude. I know she don't. She won't give me no shot either. You fucked a lot of my hoes while I was gone too, boy. No, I didn't, bro. You fucked a lot of my little bitches. Little stinking ass. Little dirty dick bitch. Well, that mean you nasty because you came home and fucked them bitches. So yours dirty. Every hoe that I fucked before I went in, I ain't even touched it up it out. Why you laughing for the internet? I understand. You right. I ain't touched them hoes either, though. You right. I can't own my bullshit, man. I don't even know what the fuck you talking about, dude. You gotta stop lying, bro. Stop lying, bro.
So a little while after this, okay, Melly would also basically kind of spook him out a little bit, okay? He would kind of like freak Bayzoo out a little bit when he started talking about Bayzoo's case. And he was basically saying, like, I don't know how you make it home or beat it, okay? He was sort of, maybe he was inferring some things, or maybe he was just, you know, freaking him out because he knew too much about his case. But Melly would basically say, look, I don't know how you beat that case. And if you don't know, okay, Bayzoo did have a very serious case. He had a murder case that he ended up beating. I think this was the Dominique case, but there was also other cases that Bayzoo maybe they thought he was going to catch and it didn't end up working out. But clearly, Melly has some respect for Bayzoo actually managing to beat bodies and beat cases like this.
Do crack jokes, bro, and play all day, bro. Don't take me serious. Don't nobody take me serious. 25. Unless I merch. When I merch it on that lady, that's when you take me serious. Don't take me serious. Fuck that. You land on that lady, boy. You lying your ass off. Anything I kept it real with you. When you came home, you asked me that shit. I said a certain way, said it in a certain way, I want never finna say that. I ain't know what you was on. You be lying on that lady. Don't keep real. I ain't know how you got home. Who got home? My trial was all in the internet. I went to trial. I never do about the trial. Bitch, I'm a gangster. You ain't gonna hear shit on my name. I thought you were me. You don't hear no police shit on my name. I never heard you right, man. Come on, man. You see me doing it. You go finna get out, man. Don't be putting no police shit on my name, man. Don't do that, man. I ain't know that anyway. I fought that shit. What's up, son? Shit, tweet with this freaky ass, creep ass nigga. What's all on?
So look, he's kind of inferring that maybe some police stuff went on. Now, I feel like that's disrespectful, and clearly that's another thing that kind of got to Bayzoo. I'm not gonna lie, okay? And you know, THF Bayzoo would basically go on to talk about how he can't catch a certain op from 051's hood, and again, just keeps getting mad disrespectful with it in this one. Look at this.
What's up, gang? On call, I see a lot of bitch ass niggas on my line too that I don't even like. I'm full of bread. Name one of them. Yo, homie Rocket. I can't wait to catch that slap. What's wrong with Rocket? Rocket a bitch. Rocket ass wasn't just on them when I was in the county, man. All right, name somebody else. Who you say? That's all I need to say, man. I ain't gonna do all this shit.
So he's keeping it real. He's saying, I can't wait to catch, I think he said Rocket. Now, I don't know, he might be talking about Rockhead or Rocco, obviously the you know, lovely gentleman that's in jail currently for the murder of L.A. Capone. He's kind of part of that whole situation there. But possibly the most self-snitching part of the live, okay, was when they talked about how their actual beef started. They would touch on how the 051 beef started, and they would go into great detail. You know, we've already talked about them kind of going over some of the early bodies that dropped. But I'm not going to lie, this was low-key a little bit policy when they started talking about how the 051 and THF beef really started.
You do? Half y'all ass basketball players and mama's boys. I still play basketball. And I'm you ain't telling me that, did you? Who forced y'all in? I still play basketball. Hey, Melly, who forced y'all in this shit? Who? Who do we play with guns? Who forced y'all in this shit? Y'all the person who was cool with. Y'all would drive y'all mama's cars at 8th grade, bro. See, you lying.
So he's throwing up the Young Money sign. He's saying, who forced you in this shit? Who started? Who forced you guys to start catching bodies? Us. That's what he's saying. Crazy.
I want to drive my mom's car. Y'all asked in grammar school driving y'all mama's cars. The whole Young Money was bitches and basketball players. Keep it real. Oh, now you lying, for you just said half the thing. Hey, bitches, you can say half the Young Money was basketball players. You ain't to say nobody no bitches, nigga. Hey, Melly, man, half y'all was bitches and mama's boys, man. Y'all drive y'all mama's car in 7th and 8th grade, bro. We forced y'all in this shit, bro. We the reason why y'all got y'all name right now. You know that. You say y'all the reason why we got us a name? And y'all the reason why y'all got a name. Y'all got a name. It go both ways. No, it go both ways. If we finna start this one, I don't even give a damn.
So he's saying, look, we're the reason us killing your friends and getting you to jump in the streets. You were mama's boys and basketball players before we actually, you know, started going back and forth. It's actually insane. Now, ironically, a lot of people in the comments would be saying these dudes would be best of friends under different circumstances. A lot of people feel that way. They said these guys really did respect each other. They were supposed to be friends the whole time. You can tell they had a mutual respect for each other. They damn near sound like they're cool with each other. You know, it's crazy. Melly low-key just told Zoo he shot him. All right, that is actually insane. Now, okay, look, despite them indeed having a fair level of mutual respect for each other, it did devolve into disrespect at times. Like, there was a moment where Melly basically said he would spit on him after he killed him if murder wasn't a crime, which is pretty insane.
If something wasn't crime, bitch, I'll spit on you when I'm finished, then I.
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of sus. That's kind of sus. Now, later on, Zoo would actually even tell Melly that the reason why he actually likes him is because at least he has the guts to, like, be himself and wear his heart on his sleeve about this street stuff.
Stop playing on me, man.
You got the balls to be yourself. That's why I like your bitch ass.
I'm gonna always be myself. I ain't never been a hoe. They don't say that.
You is a hoe.
You know, there are a lot of really interesting things in here that I felt like were kind of worth touching on. You know, this is just a breakdown. I wanted to just touch on some of the most interesting parts. But basically, you know, I would just say the last thing that I thought that was interesting to touch on was this one part here, where Zoo basically asks Melly to talk to him about the 6, which obviously THF 46, but Melly shuts it down. He don't want to speak on the ops. He doesn't want to, you know, give the game away too much and talk on the rival crew. And I just thought that was interesting.
No more, you know? Talk to me about the 6, blood. The 6? Yeah. I ain't finna become looking at the 6. I don't hang on the 6 no more. Whenever the time appears. You said, duh. If you was hanging on the 6, you wouldn't be looking. What? When they was hanging on us? You can't say that, dude. You can't stop saying that, bro. We gonna keep it funky, bro. You just said you tired of hearing my name when you was in jail. Stop saying that. What, when I was gone for the 4 years? Man, listen, when you was gone for, that's when the shit heated up. What was you doing when I was out in 2013? You said before you went to jail? Yeah. You can't, before you went to jail, what? You used to talk to me every day before you went to jail? Yeah, I did.
He's saying he used to talk to me every day before you went to jail. These guys actually low-key liked each other as friends. Like, they were trying to kill each other, but they actually liked each other. I'm going to wrap it up there, okay? That was just some of the most interesting parts of that live. I just wanted to touch on this classic throwback Chicago story, because really, like, this one of the most cursed and crazy IG lives in rap drill street history, okay? it's very sad to see how it all worked out, but at the same time, that's what comes with it. Even Bayzoo said, don't cry after he dies. He knows what he signed up for. He knows what he got himself into. And really, that's exactly what comes with it, man. So look, all right, let me know what you guys think down below, man. Let me know, is this really one of the most cursed IG lives in Chicago history? Do you think there are more people? Do you think a lot of the guys that are out here trying to kill each other, they're saying Kill Bill's the guy right now, he got 12 bodies, all this crazy stuff they're saying on Reddit. You think he's hopping on the phone with his ops? I mean, he actually did say he was on a call with Bayzoo and Lil Zay and someone else. I can't remember who the other person was, but basically, like, bro, they was all linking up, getting on the phone with each other. And I don't know, man. I would have loved to have heard that call. I'm not going to lie. A Kill Bill, Bayzoo, and Lil Zay Osama call, that would go absolutely crazy in the streets right now. But look, I do want to just make it very clear, man. I don't condone the violence. I don't condone the actions. You know, it's a very, very strange relationship that these two had. They both did very, very unfortunate things to their communities and to their people and to the people around them. In some ways, they were defending their communities, but in other ways, they were really tearing down their communities. And it's just very sad to see. So, yeah, Melly and Bayzoo, man, two legendary figures. Rest in peace, unfortunately, you know, for better or for worse. They were all participants in a very, very sad situation that hopefully the next generation will learn by and not continue the cycle. But realistically, I don't know. It seems like this younger generation is only getting worse. And unfortunately, it seems like Bayzoo's even got caught up in that. So it's very sad, man. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let me know if you're liking these kind of throwback breakdowns. Like I did the Pluto 2-time story. You guys seem to be rocking with that. We're just kind of like digging into a few old Chicago stories because it's like there's some news stories that I've been covering that some of you guys ain't interested in. So it's like, I can cover just some. I'm getting busy. I'm trying to do 3 to 5 videos a day on this channel, and I could just jump into throwback cases. I could dig into old IG lives. I can talk. Clearly, this is what 45 minutes. I can talk for hours about these situations. I can talk about throwback classic stuff. I can pull up some old King Von stuff. You guys let me know what you guys want to see, man. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. I'm out here, gang. Peace.